initial infection was really mild. It started in March 2022, and for 3 months we were basically bedridden, and the symptoms didn't seem to go away. Tired and
exhausted.
It's just beyond. I feel like 95-year-old, and you?
Same.
Yeah.
98.
Yeah.
No energy.
No energy. Buongiorno, thank you for being here today. I actually doubted for a long time whether I would make this video because I think we're all kind of sick of the word COVID. I know I am after so many years of this, but I also know I have long COVID since March when the first infection began, and also my husband, and we've been going through hell. And I think in the middle of when it was really bad, it helped me a lot to read stories of other people going through the same thing. So I thought I'm going to make it anyway because it might make you feel less lonely. I know that it helped me. So I must say I am feeling really energized now. I'm feeling a lot better. I do still have little relapses of like a cold, but I mean, that could also be just because it's gotten to be colder because the fall has just started. Yeah, I really feel like I'm getting out of it. But of course, I don't know for sure. I can always have a relapse. But so far, it's been 6 months. Now I feel like maybe this is behind me. I really hope so. We'll let you know all the remedies that we've been taking. Hopefully this can help you too. We also did a blood test and the doctor said, well, you know what? There's not much a doctor can do for you because since they still don't really know enough about it. So that's a little discouraging. So Micho's not feeling well yet, so we're gonna have a doctor check him out because it's just too long and too many issues. Hopefully they can do something. When this first started, the initial infection was more like a stomach flu, so we actually didn't really recognize it as COVID. And then after the worst symptoms subsided, we noticed that when we would do our usual walk, we had a beautiful garden there with a hill that we would walk up every day with our dog. And usually we just easily go up that hill. And now all of a sudden, we really halfway the hill, we were like, are we going to make it up this hill? That's how tired. Anytime we do exert ourselves, we do something that normal people are able to do, we're back to zero. Taking rest and not pushing the boundaries is hugely important, and we learned that the hard way. We thought we were ready for a big trip, but then again that landed us back. So it's a really fragile balance. And I would say it's super hard to gauge because sometimes you just really feel better and then you think, yay, now I can do my things again, you know, I'm gonna pick up my life again. And I'm totally like that because I'm used to having so much energy and doing things, and then yeah, you want that. And so when you feel well, you're doing all that and then it lands you back in bed. I think if you haven't experienced something like this, it's really hard to explain because it's not tired, it's exhausted. Basically, you're doing one little thing and you have to be in bed for the rest of the day. So yeah, that's basically what it is. And also next to the extreme exhaustion, we have brain fog, dizziness, that can come up at any moment. So one moment you're fine and you're in the middle of a store or something and you really need to sit down somewhere because you're so dizzy and so you feel really weird. Oh, there's my dog barking. But so yeah, it's really unpredictable, and that makes it also really hard because you can't plan anything, because if you don't feel well that day, obviously you can't do it. It can be really hard to keep a positive mind frame if you're spending so much time in bed. So things started getting better when we started planning activities around 2 days of rest, so 2 days before an activity and 2 days after, and also having cheat days where we did eat something with sugar in it or did have a cappuccino, and then just dealt with the consequences after. Because somehow when you're constantly on this schedule or diet, and also you're not doing anything, you're basically being at home, sleeping a lot, it can really sink your spirit. And I thought it was so necessary to do that in order to be able to enjoy life again. Even if it's just for a short moment or an afternoon, going out to dinner or seeing friends or going shopping, normal things that you miss so much when you have no energy to do anything. But it also kind of gives you energy to do it. So as long as you plan it right, I felt that helped a lot. Which has really been hard this summer because it was so extremely hot, has been not being able to regulate your body temperature. So I haven't been as overheated in my whole life, basically all day long, but at night even worse than in the daytime, I would say. But during the day as well, we've been sleeping with towels over ourselves, taking cold showers and stuff. But it really comes from, it's like you're a boiler, you can't turn it off, and it's quite frustrating. And now that the weather has finally switched, it's now September, end of September, and it's wonderful weather right now, around 20 degrees, and that helps a lot. But it's still there, and I wonder if it gets colder, if I'm also gonna not be able to warm up, because it seems to be a problem that your body doesn't know how to regulate the temperature. Now it's been 5 weeks since the relapse, and I feel like now I'm finally gaining some stability again. So yeah, it's been tough. We discovered after this to be very sensitive to certain kinds of food. We had to readjust our whole diet. We are not eating any sugar. We're not drinking coffee, which is kind of a disaster in Italy and we miss it so much. But every time we ate something like cookies, pancakes, and then with coffee, we would notice afterwards another relapse of 3 days or so, effect of that one moment of eating that. So we do sin every once in a while because we can't stand it and get so frustrated. And then I think for your mental health, sometimes it is important to say, okay, I'm going to forget all about it today. I'm not going to stick to the diet. I'm not going to rest. I'm going to do the things that I like. Because we noticed we got into a real rut after a while, because, you're just always at home. And so there are days that we say, forget it, we're doing this, and we take the consequences. So yeah. We're going to an American cafe while we're in Florida.
Yeah, they're eating. They have pancakes, they have bagels, stuff that we're missing I'm missing like crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh, this is a delicious place.
I've taken so many things, probiotics and herbs and oxygen, all kinds of things, and it's hard to know which of those things have made the huge difference in getting recovered like I did. But I know that all of them contributed to a little bit of that. One of the things that has helped me just to keep my immunity high is propolis, this extract. I've been using these drops. This has no alcohol in it. Another thing that we're not taking, no alcohol, because obviously that becomes sugar. So this extract, I do 10 drops or so a day in a little bit of water, and then I swallow it. So that is one of the things. And also I sell it in my online apothecary. The other thing is this, which is quite funny. This is more for like sports people or people in the mountains who need a little bit more oxygen. But I noticed that I had shortness of breath, and like very easily, I have been asthmatic in the past. I kind of grew over it, I thought, but it has brought that back. So, and I felt like I need oxygen, like I can't breathe very well. So, and this has helped a lot with that. So this is So I bought this, I think, online somewhere. I think you can look it up. It's called Boost Oxygen. And then the other thing is, this is my treasure too. This is called Golden Sun Milk. It's a turmeric drink from the brand Anima Mundi. I also sell it online, and yeah, it's really nice because it has curcuma and ginger and vanilla, pepper, what else? Cardamom, maca, and cinnamon. All the good stuff, superfoods that really help also with fighting infection. I don't know, I mean, the doctors don't even know what is going on with our bodies, but I think turmeric has helped me a great deal with this, so that one is great. And the great thing, it's also a very nice taste. It's basically like a tea that you can drink it, sometimes with a little bit of honey, also not too much because obviously sugar content, but not refined sugar, but still. So yeah, this one. And the other one is this. We have noticed this so much. In fact, when we were in Berlin, we ran out of it, and then when we came back, when we had that relapse, we were like, wow, you know, I was so exhausted again, like we're back to zero. And then my husband started taking 4 of these each day because he's in worse shape than I am. I'm taking 2. And in a couple of days, he noticed immediately like a little bit of energy coming back. Obviously, it takes a while, but it seems that there are certain vitamins and minerals missing when you have long COVID. And you need to really supplement, even if you're eating really healthy, which we are super like aware of our diet. We eat only fresh things, no prepackaged foods, obviously then no sugar. And so we're healthy with our diet, but this is really necessary when you're in such bad shape. I felt like this helped us a lot. So yeah, that's the other thing. And then there is fresh ginger tea that I make every day, which helped us in the beginning when we had the intestinal issues and they lingered for a while, like it didn't quite go away. And so at some point I just thought, you know what, we need ginger. I don't know where that came from, but we went to the store that day, I made it, and then I think it took me 3 days before my intestinal issues got a lot better, and I am convinced that I might have had a candida infection, which comes along with COVID quite often. And so ginger is one of the things that kills that off. And also we were taking probiotics. That's the one. I don't have it right here with me, but yeah, probiotics. And I think no sugar because the candida feeds on sugar. So I think that is what basically helped me with getting those symptoms better. So yeah, those are the things. I also realized that I'm lucky because a lot of people that had COVID ended up in the hospital, or they end up in the hospital with symptoms of long COVID, affecting their heart, affecting their lungs, which is really extreme and tough. And so these symptoms are, well, I wouldn't say they're mild because they impact your life also severely because we can't do much. COVID creates this feeling of isolation, loneliness, insecurity about when am I going to get my life back, you know, how am I going to get better? It's just, I'm lucky that we both, in a way, I mean, I don't want him to feel bad, but my husband also has it. So we really support each other and understand each other really well on how we're feeling, and we're not questioning it, or, you know, you just know how the other person is feeling, and that helps so much. And sometimes when we were in our worst days and we still had to go out because of our dog, we really needed each other. It's like, oh, am I feeling well? Okay, let's sit down. Like, you know what I mean? Kind of like somebody that helps you when you're in those moments. And I can totally imagine if you don't have that, how horrible that can be. So I think it's super important to be with family, even if you're living on your own. Maybe move in with your parents for a while, or a friend, or I don't know, like just have people around you to prevent you from being so lonely and isolated. Or just talk to people about it. Go online, find groups. I know there's a Facebook group called Long Haulers, I think. Yeah, if you type long COVID, long haulers, you find all kinds of groups there. And I know that reading about it and seeing things about it has helped me so much, because you just feel like, oh, thank God, like I'm not crazy, because this is not in my head, this is real. Everybody is experiencing these things. And I do have a very firm belief in that our body has the ability to heal itself, even though this is such a weird thing that we don't know yet. I have to believe it, because you don't want to see this as this endless thing that never goes away, or that we can't tackle. Our bodies are made to tackle it, maybe with some help from medication or natural remedies. But I think it's important to keep that trust and not despair, because there are a lot of people that had it and have come out of it. Like myself, I am coming out of it. I feel a lot better, and it is possible. Another thing that helped us a lot is just to, not really exercise, but we do go out for little walks whenever we feel, again, respecting the boundaries. But when we feel like, okay, it's a good day, we can do this, we do go out. And we do, nature always helps me a lot to just center again, be grateful again when you're stressed out. So it's so important to connect with that element, I feel like. And I also did some light yoga stretches, nothing that brings up my heart rate because somehow I couldn't handle any exertion. But and we have here in Florence these electrical bikes, which have been fantastic for this, because you obviously don't really exercise because it's electrical, but then you do get out, you have fresh air, you see the city, and it helps a lot. And the other thing that we also had a lot of problems with is like dealing with too much impressions, the light, of the sun, or just being in traffic, and seeing all the movement, or talking too much with people, like too long, and everything kind of became sensitive, I don't know. And so the rest is just so imperative to somehow calm your nervous system and not get too overwhelmed by all of this and trigger again another relapse or exhaustion. So it's a struggle, and it's definitely a journey to find out what works, what doesn't work. But it's along the way you find ways to deal with it, and you know your boundaries, you get to know your boundaries better, and and this will get better, and we will get past this and this will be in the past someday. So I hope this was helpful and that you had some encouragement and tips from this video. If you have questions, leave them down below, because I want to do a Q&A video at some point, and I will collect all your questions. So, and I hope to see you in my next video. Ciao! Arrivederci!